Filmmakers in 2024 are lining up to take the Mickey out of Disney, to horrifying results. But how do they avoid the ire of CEO Bob Iger? Steamboat Willie, the benchmark 1928 black and white cartoon short featuring Mickey Mouse in his earliest form, has officially entered the public domain. That means it's open season for anyone and everyone who wants to use that iteration of the Walt Disney Company's mascot. So naturally, there's already an influx of horror-themed films and even video games aiming to parody the rodent's family-friendly image. Up first, Mickey's Mousetrap. Directed by Jamie Bailey, the slasher film centers on Alex, a young woman who's stuck spending her 21st birthday working a late shift at her amusement arcade job when a masked killer dressed as Steamboat Willie-era Mickey shows up to wreak havoc. The movie looks just as hacky and ultra-low budget as you would expect, with lines of dialogue that are practically lifted wholesale out of Wes Craven's self-reflexive slasher classic, Scream.
Like if you was in a horror movie, you'd never say, "I'll be right back," because then you don't.
The self-described comedy horror feature film is also blatantly riffing on Freddy Fazbear's Pizza from Five Nights at Freddy's, with its own blood-stained fun center setting. Quality, of course, isn't the top priority for Bailey's proudly trashy schlockfest. In a statement posted by The Hollywood Reporter, the filmmaker outright called the film ridiculous, adding, "We ran with it and had fun doing it, and I think it shows." It's all about getting this movie out there before the competition. Well, that and potentially Disney's army of trademark lawyers. Stephen Lamorte had the same idea as Bailey, which should come as no surprise given his prior work. The director, who previously helmed a slasher film send-up of Dr. Seuss's Grinch titled The Mean One, is gearing up to start production this spring on a currently untitled horror comedy movie about a Mickey-esque mouse who terrorizes a pack of ferry passengers. Lamorte said in a press release posted by Variety, "Steamboat Willie has brought joy to generations, but beneath that cheerful exterior lies a potential for pure, unhinged terror. It's a project I've been dreaming of, and I can't wait to unleash this twisted take on this beloved character to the world." Elsewhere on the non-movie front, Steamboat Willie is serving as the inspiration for Infestation 88, a horror survival co-op game that has just been announced by Nightmare Forge. The game's developers have issued the following logline for the title. In the year 1988, what was thought to be an outbreak of rodents in various locations morphed into something far more sinister. It sounds like Infestation 88 will also borrow a page or two from the original Five Nights at Freddy's point-and-click survival horror video games. Players will have to use security cameras to stay ahead of the game's killer mice, either by hiding, fleeing, or, if need be, directly fighting them. Fortunately, it would seem that the murderous rodents of Infestation 88 are a bit more vulnerable than the homicidal animatronic children's mascots from Freddy's, as you can lay down traps to try and take them out before they get you. This whole situation with Steamboat Willie is extremely reminiscent of what happened when the rights to author A.A. Milne and illustrator E.H. Shepard's 1926 book, Winnie the Pooh, entered the public domain at the start of January 2022. As a result, writer and director Reese Frake Waterfield was able to move forward with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, a slasher movie take on the titular bear, as well as select other members of the 100-Acre Wood.
We used to be friends, why are you doing this?
To avoid being sued by Disney, Blood and Honey could only draw inspiration from the iterations of Pooh and his friends from Milne's book, and not Disney's animated adaptations. The movie also had to leave out Tigger entirely, as he wasn't introduced until one of Milne's later books.
"I can't do it, I tell you, it's too risky!"
Similarly, the creatives behind the film took extra care to ensure their versions of the silly old bear and his buddies could never be reasonably mistaken for the ones crafted by Disney, so as to avoid trademark infringement. Following in the bloody footsteps of The Mean One and Blood and Honey, all three of the Mickey Mouse horror projects are being careful to not only model their deadly mice after Mickey from Steamboat Willie and nothing else, but to also ensure they're as different from the real deal as possible.
Hot dog!